Well, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. You're on the lifeboat, people. I'm Captain Calhoun. I'm dunking my tea bag. I'm trying to have some tea right now. Have some sweet announcements to make, I have to say. I'm so happy to be here. Body Illusion, Blessed to Crochet, Aspire to Inspire, Jason P. A bunch of my favorite people. Judy Lee, how you doing? Dawn Meredith, Roberta. What's going on? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm seeing lots of unique names today. Pretty excited about that. That's a good sign. Shannon Smith, good to see you always. A pleasure. Jamie Palmer. Spike ZZZ, welcome in, welcome in. Carol at Needing a Meeting. Hey, hi, how are ya? Seventh Son Steve-O getting tongue-tied. What is going on? Sir Tedrick Walker making it to the boat. What is going on, y'all? I have a really exciting presentation for you guys today. Kathy Ann, happy to see you. Hope Between the Dreams. I love that name. Good to see you. Lots of people in today. Let's go. Rachel Roca, welcome in. Welcome in. Gwen Pitka, the same to you. Judy Lee. Hey, guys. Happy Wednesday. Hanging with Mr. Ray. What's going on, brother? I got your message. I did not look in the email yet, though. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. Ellie J. What's going on? Caddy Connie. Robin Miners. Brazy Girl. The gang's all here. What's going on? You know what, Robin Miners? You're a unique name in my heart, so that's the same, right? So I have couple things. Tara smiling. What's going on? I almost started the stream like this just for you, but today we're going to talk about some serious stuff, so I figured I'd save this for story time or something fun. Oh, that's right. I have received some packages. I did some peeking because there was talk of tea, and I was making tea. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to make tea and then open stuff with you guys, realizing that there's brand new tasty tea that I could be trying. But there was no tea. But so now all the packages are open. But check this out. I only peeked a little. As you can see, the boxes are open. But we're going to do some unboxing, and then we'll get to the matter at hand. Today is one of those days where I only have a limited amount of time because I have book study right after this. So as much as I'd like to go over today, with all the fun stuff we have to talk about, we can't. So we're going to get it in. Maybe we'll make a two-parter out of it if it comes to that, but I don't think so. And if it does, hell yeah, you know? Oh, look at this. It is a lifeboat mug, baby. Look at this, guys. Boat mode, engage. You see that? You see that? I love the size of this behemoth. I can't wait to drink everything out of this. Thank you. Some of these say who they're from. Some of them do not. Unless this one has a letter inside of it, I don't know who it's from. So let's see if there's a letter. Oh my. Somebody really loves me and listens to me when I whine about things that I've lost in the past, because this is the Tibetan Book of the Dead, obviously. I cannot wait to break this puppy open. I did so much deep diving on, today was Native American culture and folklore and stories and whatnot. I spent so much time today learning about the Navajo Nation, as well as other stuff I'm not really going to speak on because it's not my story to tell, right? But this book scratches that same itch. I have this need to learn about. This is from Jason P, baby. Let's go. Jason P, my guy. This scratches that same itch. I have this need to learn about different peoples and histories and cultures and traditions. Even though there's this part of me that completely abhors tradition, there's this other part of me that like has this deep, deep value, finds deep value in tradition. So the book study is an hour after the boat show ends. Thank you, Tara Smiling. I don't know what I would do without you. I am not changing the book study time. You're just keeping me straight, and I really appreciate it. So maybe we can go over. Who cares, right? We're going to have some fun today. I'm not going to read this right now. I really want to. Let's put it. I'm going to put it right here. All right. Long hair is not conducive to like seeing what's in front of you, but this one is also, I believe, I don't know who it's from. I'm not going to read their address out or anything, but because I'm pretty sure there's a return address, but this one did not. Oh, there's a letter though. There's a letter. Oh, just kidding. It's not a letter. This is from Seventh Son, Steve-O. Thank you, brother. What have we got here? Some effects. Oh my. I don't know what these are, Seventh. Oh my, this is a crystal skull. And dare I open it further? I've been eating way too much dairy, y'all. My stomach's not happy about it. But it's easily ingested, and I don't have to chew most dairy. So I've been eating a ton of it. And I bring that up right now because my stomach is like, I just had cheesy eggs and this protein shake. Look at this bag, guys. I wonder if they make a Mrs. skull. Shout out to the Mrs. Oh my, look at this guy. Is this Snowflake Obsidian? I'm pretty sure that this is Snowflake Obsidian, folks. Unless I completely deranged, which I'm not. I get it could be granite, but this certainly looks to me like the skull that I lost way back when. Except the one that I lost had character because I would carry it everywhere I went with me in my pocket, and I was like a young boy. So I would drop it in the mall. You know, I would just, it had all kinds of scars on it, and it was so pretty. But wow, Seventh. Wow, dude. What a gift. I'm kind of blown away by that one, dude. I got to open this other box now to see what could be in here. It says Crystal Skull on the back, so I imagine it's a parrot made out of wood. This one is like like will you marry me kind of case. I don't want to hurt it here. Anyways, dude, it's so good to be back, guys. And I'm not just saying that because I got gifts today. It is so good to be back. I spent a bunch of time farting around and learning, and spent a bunch of time putting a show together today on this topic and watching some of my dad's stuff and watching some of my old stuff and just really plugging into boat things. And man, did it feel good. Man, does it feel good. Now, this one has like a emeraldy dark green color. I wonder what is going on with this bag. Can I be smarter than the bag? Cool. It's a see-through Ziploc. I guess all Ziplocs are see-through, but man, I really couldn't see that. Wow, I feel like we need more light. Oh, I can't do that. I'll mess the camera up. Wow. So it's way better in the screen. So there's this like really light green color dashed with this like, it's almost like a taupe, jaspery red. That's what I was looking for. Then it's just full red over here, like a jaspery red, like a burgundy. I don't know what rock, like what actual stone this is, but this is beautiful. Thank you, Seventh. I'm a huge fan of these. I know you totally heard me say that, so you already know that, but I'm so stoked on that. I haven't been reading anything. I've just been staring at these gemstones. Give me just a minute.
Please hold.
Oh my gosh. The state of my desk is going to give me an aneurysm. Okay, we're going to do this. Probably want to keep those boxes because they're pretty. And this one is from Body Illusion. This will be our last package today. So when I peeked in this one, I just kind of seen, okay, that's definitely not tea. So I have no idea what this is. And I guess I didn't have any idea what that stuff was either, but wow, look at this. Pretty sure this is for my feetsies. This is so cool. Thank you so much, Body Illusion. Everything's backwards on my camera. This is so cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, I don't want to use this for the wrong thing, but is this for standing on? I would hate for it to not be that, and then I just would stand on it and stuff, you know? Because if it's not, we're going to hang it up. But I feel like this is one of those things you put your feet on when you're brushing your teeth, right? Oh, it's called a mat, I guess. I don't know, but it's really soft. It's real fuzzy, and she definitely made this by hand. That I can feel the love right on it. Ooh. Wow. It's the little things. It's the little things in life, guys. Oh my gosh. Chair's not cooperating. Okay. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Yeah. Let me get my bearings here, folks. It's quite overwhelming. Thank you so much, everyone. That I'm loved. It makes me feel very, very held and loved. How do we go from here? Dude, I'm feeling so much better, Jason P. I can't even begin to tell you. It's so crazy how great I feel. It's almost like I'm a kid again. Like I have all this childish energy, and I was down for like a whole month. I had that thing going on in my head. It almost felt like it was never going to end. Like this was the new normal. Like, what is this under hair? Anyways, don't pay attention to that. Thank you for saying that, Tara. And Spanx never got out of his computer chair ever again. That's right. That's right. I can only be here for a bit. My premiere starts. Glad to see all of you. Conversation with Christy. My heart goes out to you. Thanks for stopping in. If I have time after this, I'm going to pop in there. All right. Good luck. Have fun. Most of all, have fun. Hope between the dreams. Good to see you. Too cool to use as bath mat, in my opinion. That's what I was thinking. That's like why I asked. I felt like, anyways, it's pretty cool, right? All right, I'm going to catch up on some comments and then we will proceed. Thank you for posting that up, Rick Spicer. My guy. Good to see you, Crafty Witch. That's a copy and paste, baby. Job well done. Aren't those gorgeous stones, Brazy? I have to find out what this green one is. I want to know with that like super burgundy, like jaspery red going through it. I love that. Usually this is the time where I say with that. But, we're on the lifeboat. We're keeping it clean, keeping it kosher. Speaking of kosher, I haven't seen I haven't seen our friend from Israel, Aryeh Schleider. Let's get some ones up for him and his family. I bet you the reason we haven't seen him is because he's now a proud father. That's most likely the deal. I don't know. I don't have an inside scoop, but he's in my heart and my thoughts today. So I thought I'd bring him up. Shout out to my guy, Aryeh. For all I know, I'm going to scroll up and see his name too, which would be hilarious. Christian B, what's going on? Good to see ya. Tara Smiling says, whoa, those rocks be ballin'. I believe the term is they're rockin'. Is it Coral Caddy? That would be way cool. Oh, seventh has the scoop here. One is Dragon Bloodstone. The second is supposed to be Euperlite. Word. I'm going to have to educate myself on both of those. I believe the one with the Jasper is got to be the Dragon Bloodstone. I would have to say. Euperlite, huh? This Euperlite is so very similar to the Snowflake Obsidian, although maybe I can point this out if I can get it without the glare. You see these like lighter colored like striations. They're kind of like lines, I guess. You don't see that in the Snowflake Obsidian. The Snowflake Obsidian is more like I don't want to say it's all one color because it's not, but instead of these stripy kind of striations, you'll end up getting, or splotchy, you'll get like actual dots or like more defined splotches. At least in the specimen that I had. I don't claim to be an expert on stones, but I am a big fan. I try to educate myself as much as possible. Christmas for the captain. Barbara C., good to see you. Ted Crosby, Captain, where can I find the P.O. box to send gifts to? Rick Spicer posted that just a second ago, but for all of those in the future and in the past and whatever, we post the address in the channel description. So if you click on like the lifeboat under the vid, like the actual name, it'll take you to like our channel homepage, and in the about section, you just hit see more, and it'll drop down like our PayPal and all of our stuff. But the PO box is in that body of text. Lynn Sanity, good to see you. Dawn Meredith, yes, I have to say hello to everyone, and that's what it's all about. Barbara C, Sherry LeBrun, I live for now. Heck yeah, guys, it's good to see all of you. Okay. Resentments, guys. Resentments. I am a Dead fan. Hope Between the Dreams. I am a Dead fan. My favorite Dead song's got to be Ripple or Fire on the Mountain. Interesting body illusion. I was doing a ton of learning on Navajo magic today. For lack of a better way to describe it, that's just my generalization term. Got a Yeti cup for me. I love Yeti cup. I actually threw out an old thermos today because I didn't like how it felt. And I don't mean like physically. I mean like energetically. It's from a time in my life and probably, I don't know, it saw me through the crack days. So I put it in the trash today. What do we got here? Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference for us. Catch Carol every weekday at 1:40 p.m. Pacific time here. Carol at Needing a Meeting. And the Admiral will be live this evening, probably at 7:30. Sometimes he's a little bit off that exact mark, so but he's the Admiral. He gets to do that. I support him. And he supports me a ton. Resentment. So we have all resented. We're all familiar with this term, right? And I guess if you're not, you're about to be, you're going to learn today. So I have not seen the show at the Sphere. Wait, is Sphere a venue here in Tucson or in Arizona? And are you saying they have like a dead light show? Because they used to do Pink Floyd light shows in Salt Lake at the planetarium all the time, and they were pretty sweet. I tell you what, Hope Between the Dreams says, hooray for getting rid of the old and making room for the new. That's been like the theme of this whole journey out here. Oh, I'm going to try this tea now before it gets too cold. Euperlite will look glowingly. So you're telling me this puppy is going to glow under ultraviolet, huh? I am looking forward to that in a big way. We're going to have to do a two-parter on this one for sure. We haven't even, we're halfway through and we haven't even, and we will go a little long too, but we haven't even started talking about resentment. It's exciting. What is book study and what book are you studying? Well, book study originally, we weren't entirely sure what book we wanted to study. There were a couple in the running, and the me and Tara and Jake and REA and Mr. Ray, just a few of us from in here get together, and we've been reading. Please hold. Been reading this little number, which is the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. A little bit controversial, maybe taboo in some places, but I'm not preaching any 12-step stuff. I just that's what book we're reading right now, and I don't know. I have missed 2 book studies, and the first one they did not do the book study without me. So I don't know if they did last week's book study without me or not. But where we left off 2 weeks ago was we were, I don't know if we finished the doctor's opinion or, wait, I don't know if we finished Bill's story or not, but we were in there. I'm really excited for the latter parts of the book because I've read the first 3 chapters of that book maybe 5 times as many, way more than any other part of that book. So I'm really excited for the latter half. And book study is on Wednesdays. It's in the Discord server. And before I tell everyone about it, that was never my plan, but now I'm going to, I guess. It feels right in the moment. It originally was like an intimate little tight-knit group. We've actually only done it for 3 weeks, so it's still like kind of that way. If it gets bigger, we're going to have to like separate groups in the Discord so that discussion can still be productive, so that we can still hit a timeline. But we do have the infrastructure to support that. I will say, if a bunch of people show up to book study, I can't lead more than one book study. So when we break it down into little, if and when we break it down into little groups, every group will have to be led by somebody. So just food for thought. Right now, we're not at that bridge. We're not crossing it. But definitely feel free to pop in and hang out with us. Spanx, do you know why Navajo put turquoise in all their jewelry? I do not, but I find turquoise quite beautiful, and I have noticed that it is a huge part of their culture. Do you, Caddy? Tell me. And no, don't be sorry for being nosy. I'm here to put myself out there. So if you have any questions, especially you, Ellie J, please ask. I would love to answer. Oh, I was just answering. Cool. Okay, cool. I get lost in speaking sometimes. Break a leg conversations with Christy. We love you. See you later. Yeah, Discord is mildly complicated, and our server is more complicated than most. I used to have a bunch of turquoise. I don't think that I do anymore. I do have some sweet rocks. I'm pretty sure that they're in my room. They might still be packed in a box or something, but I have like an amethyst like spear that's really, really cool. But turn that down. Yeah, we all have resented. This person did this. This situation went this way. We have all harbored resentment in our hearts, right? The situation was unfair. I personally held a lot of resentments for my family and my parents and those around me from my childhood. And that was a huge thing I had to work through because resentment is a poison. It will fester. It will poison your body and mind over time. Especially like the longer we hold on to it, the longer we let it build. It's an obsessive emotion. It's a very complicated emotion. It affects us mentally, physically, and emotionally. Resentment will be the end of us if we don't handle it properly. We can't afford, especially as addicts, we cannot afford, absolutely cannot afford to harbor resentments. This is one of the worst possible things that we could ignore is our resentments and how we feel. Mentally, it can consume our thoughts. Like I said, very obsessive. We can like obsessing over the past. For me, when I held resentments towards my family, I would obsess over it. Every time something would go wrong in the beginning, I would think back to XYZ, this, and this, and if you hadn't done this, and this is all because of that one time that started it all, whatever the case may be. But very obsessing over it. It grows to become this thing that consumes all of my thoughts, all of my being. It came to a point where it wasn't just when things went wrong. It was always on my mind, constantly bombarding me like the ants, right? And maybe that they were a form of ants or whatever, right? But I let these resentments get to a point where they dominated my daily thoughts. That is a good question, Tara. Why do we obsess over resentments? Well, I have a theory. I think that resentments are like unprocessed emotions. Resentments, and this is my opinion, this is like this is not in my notes. This is not, this is definitely off the hip. So, you can definitely quote me on this, but I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But so I think that resentments are unhandled emotions. Like when we bottle something up and don't deal with it, when we are scared of something like an emotion or a feeling or something from our past, a memory, and we run from it instead of facing it. I think that those things can't help but become resentments. And like my dad likes to say, my dad always says, get rid of that thing or it will get that thing out of you, or it will force its way out of you, right? And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about these unprocessed, unfaced, ran from emotions becoming volatile inside you, festering, becoming a poison to your mind, body, and soul. And that's why I think, hold on, let me get my stuff together here. Why do we obsess over them? Because they're emotions stuck inside of us. We can't help but notice these bouncy balls of negativity ricocheting on the inside of our rib cages. You know what I mean? Just for a sweet metaphor that I made up off the top of my head. That's what I think. I think we can't help but notice. We just don't necessarily understand what it is. But if you follow that string all the way to where it leads, you should. But yeah, I let it get to a point where it was dominating my daily thoughts. It was affecting my focus, my concentration, my memory, my decision making, everything. It was festering to a point where it was fostering anxiety, depression. Negativity was overwhelming my thoughtscape, right? My mind state. And it's very hard to be positive. It's very hard to move forward, be positive, be happy when what's dominating in my head and in my heart is negative. Emotionally, resentment often manifests as anger, bitterness, and hostility. And as we said before, harboring resentment is terrible, right? It's going to prevent you from experiencing joy and contentment at a certain point. If you let this go unattended, you will experience unhappiness, probably depression and anxiety, like we just covered. Now, physically, this was really cool. I think I knew this, but had forgotten. But resentments can physically manifest as like headaches, sore muscles, insomnia. Think about that. Anything that's really a medical, physical thing that's related to stress, we can relate to resentments. If lots of stress causes you to feel XYZ, this is going to do that too. I have a labradorite skull right here, LEJ. I don't know why I'm so into the skulls. This part right here just slays me. That part that looks like dark blue is like a shimmery, oh, there you can kind of see it. Oh my. This one's name's Monty. I've had him the longest. Montego. Ellie J says, I just need to feel like I can live with my choices and decisions. That is a powerful statement. You know, my life took a serious turn for the better when my actions matched my intent, when my behaviors matched like who I wanted to be, when my outside matched my inside. Does that make sense? For a long time, it was very, very hard for me to like be the person I wanted to be because I was a crackhead, alcoholic, because I was running amok. Excuse me. I'm late. Better late than never, Scooby Lee. Good to see ya. I caught you right as you came in. I am attentive. What is going on? Got these hiccups or something. Yeah, Tara, this is one of those things we're going to have to continually remind ourselves of, I think. Especially when like I'm deficient, like when I was taking a break from the boat, trying to get my mouth in order and having failure and not success at it, man, the resentments and the ants and the crazy inside of me started to broil and swirl. I definitely had to put a lid on that sucker, break out the journal and start writing it down, call my dad, kind of freak out a little bit and have him tell me XYZ, you know what to do. It was good, but this is something that we're going to continually have to circle back to, I think. Absolutely, Body Illusion. I still don't know all of my skull's names, actually. I don't know. I've never named this one. I don't think I've taken the time to get to know this one well enough. But I got this one at a very tumultuous time in my life. And I don't know, in a lot of ways, this one represents Lucy to me. But on that note, the last time I saw her, I secretly left her, without her knowledge, left her a, I mean, she found out 5 minutes after I left it, and we spoke about it and giggled about it, but I left her a Florentine. I think it was Florentine. It was like a clear, it was like a opaque, clearish, whitish skull that was like rainbow shimmery. If you know what stone that is, I think it was fluorite or something like that. I don't know. But I left her that skull. It was very small. It was about this big, but that sucker was so loud, I couldn't wait to pawn it off on Lucy. I'm just kidding. She was a big fan of that one, and I definitely wasn't. And when we reconnected, I made a gift of it. Most of them are already named. This one's Sarah. And it's like the most regular name, but this stone is called Quesada. It's mined from 2 mines in the whole world or something like that, or 1 mine in the whole world. And I couldn't come up with a better name than Sarah, but that stuck. And my Labradorite's Monty. Christy Hughes, thank you very much. Sheba Dog, writing with a brush, writing number 1 on a piece of paper. Oh, I'm reading the screenplay to the sticker. I'm woo, we're doing it. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, maybe back to my notes. Maybe we'll get back on this horse here. Christy Hughes just popped in for the mods, looking good. Thank you, Christy. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Your support is wonderful, is appreciated. So, resolving existing resentments and preventing future resentments. Well, when I say preventing future resentments, I mean like in the moment, not creating new ones, right? That's what we're talking about here. That's where we're at. So step one, and I will preface this by saying a lot of the things we talk about here kind of all go hand in hand. That's going to be a continuing theme. It's never going to change. I mean, obviously we're going to have like new stuff here and there, but like it's all going to tie together. All of these things are puzzle pieces that fit together into a grand picture of a beautiful new life in recovery. And this is no different. The first, and in my opinion, most important step to resolving and processing resentments is to look it in the face and acknowledge it. Look that sucker in the face, give it a nod, accept it. It exists. This resentment exists for a reason, probably a good reason, maybe not, who cares, but it's there, it's real. You have to acknowledge it. Validation is a necessary first step. Acknowledge and accept your feelings. Rather than suppressing or denying, validating one's emotions is an essential first step. I would have to say after that, we want to identify the cause. We want to identify the root. Where does this resentment come from? What is the trigger? What caused this? That may also help you prevent like new resentments from being created. If you run into a similar situation, you've just identified, the trigger for this past resentment. You kind of see the writing on the wall. You can get to dodge that sucker instead of creating a new resentment to process through. Yes, Tara, we are getting to that. Tara Smiling says, also, I think not trying to process resentment alone is very important. I know for me personally, I can only speak from my experience on this particular note, but if I inevitably will find myself at an impasse with whatever emotions, resentments, whatever I'm processing, whatever it is, I will inevitably hit an impasse, somewhere where I'm stuck. It's not flowing anymore. Sometimes I just need to go do something else for a while and come back to it. Sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes I need support. I have to talk to someone about it. And sometimes just the act of saying these words to another human that's receiving this message is enough to like, boop, 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 get my stuff working again. Sometimes we have to actually have a dialogue about it. And that's when divine, whoever I'm sharing it with, for some reason, always seems to have the keys to unlock whatever's going on. So I think it's very, very important that we don't do this alone. At the very, very end of my notes, it says as always, seeking support from friends, family, and or your therapist is advised. That's going to make all of this easier. In fact, I would say that having support, whether it be peer support, family, therapist, a form of this is absolutely necessary. And we know that, right? Connection. That's what we're here talking about all the time. But it is, I guess, not to be understated or skipped over. Having a support group, having someone to talk to, and in its own little category, having a therapist couldn't be more helpful, man. I tell you what. Identifying the cause and the root, right? Journal heavy. The journal is going to be your best friend with this part. Reflecting on your past, examining your beliefs. Did this lead me here, right? Would changing this belief or, changing XYZ about how I'm living my life not lead me here in the future? That kind of stuff. Examining the roots, keep losing my place on my darn notes. And I know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't need notes. Anyways, identifying the cause and the root, very, very important. The next thing we're going to talk about is empathy and compassion. Just briefly, this is a necessary component to recovery, especially if we're processing through emotions and resentments. What conquers bad? Good, right? What trumps negative? Positive. So if we're trying to rewire the way our brains work, the way that we think, the way that we reward ourselves, the way that we live our lives, the way that we're going to do that is with positivity and negativity, identifying the negative stuff and then overriding it with positive stuff. And That's one of the main reasons I try to be as happy and positive as possible. And I'm not trying to fake it until I make it. I don't like that statement, right? But um, I am doing everything that I can to be happy and to be positive and to put positivity into the world. When I'm frustrated, I try not to stomp around and gripe and moan because I'm just expelling negativity. And I think that holds a whole lot more power than just sounds in the air. I'm always trying to be as positive and as empathetic as possible. And I'm also, with a caveat, I don't want to put myself out there, right? I don't want to be out on a limb and put myself in danger, right? I'm not that kind of compassionate, but I have compassion, right? I try to live heart forward. And this is going to lead me to well lit places with love and light. You know what I mean? My gums hurt. Ooh, that's a good song. Yeah, Shannon Smith, we have to protect ourselves as empaths. It super important for me to identify, is this mine or is this from someone else? Because a lot of times I'll just think that it's me, but really I'm picking up on someone else's energy. Me too, Christy. Has vengeance ever served you though? Have you ever gotten your vengeance, even in a small way? Like for me, that never felt good. I always felt like such a piece of trash after that. And I've gotten a lot of vengeance in my life, and I feel like for me, like the vengeance was like an evolved version of the resentment. Like it just was taking the resentment to an actionable level. Like, and I'm not judging you at all, Christy. I've got your back. I want the best for you. But I am curious. Did you ever get your vengeance? How did it feel? Even if it was in a small way, because I can relate with that feeling, that emotion. Wrath. Wrath is strong in this one. Oof. Eyeballs are dry. Yeah, I think I will do a resentment part 2 show. We've got like 9 minutes though, so I'm going to fart around with you guys for another 9. There's so much more we could talk about, Tara. It's insane. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Can I get an amen? Amen. Okay, that's enough of that. Self-care, cultivating forgiveness, open, honest communication. These are all going to be practices, behaviors that are going to serve you on this path of resolving resentments. Because I guarantee you've got some resentments. I probably have some. I probably need to break open that 4th, 5th step and do the sucker again. It's very intimidating, but it's also very necessary. I remember the first time I did, went through the full steps. When I got done with it, I felt so light, so clean, so fresh, so clean. I felt like ready to take on the world. It was a weight lifted for sure. I wish I could delete my last comment. Guess who's going to go look for it? Oh my. If we were not on Restream, I could hide it for you. But for some reason, Restream doesn't want me to do that. It just wants me to put you in timeout. Embrace the comment. Did someone like run up on your keyboard and write that pretending to be you, Tara? I feel like I have a hard time picturing you saying those words out loud. That's what I'm trying to picture. I'm trying to picture Tara smiling, saying, Wally, what's going on? I'm feeling vengeful about your last comment, LMAO. Whoa. Good to see you, Wally. Thanks for joining us, brother. Glad you're here. Dude, I can relate with that laziness. You said you're too lazy to do anything with your vengeance. That is a blessing. That is a great application of laziness, I'd have to say, which I have a hard time finding a good use of laziness. But hey, to put my vengeance down, laziness all day. We're farting around right now, Tara. We are farting around. I miss tank time, guys, but it's definitely not happening today. Self-care. Self-care is important. I don't know. What am I going to do? Okay, so check this out. I'm going to go see my grandma in like 14 days. I don't think when we have dinner, I guess I can do this, some form of this, but I can't let grandma see this. Look at that. Bozo the clown over here. And I mean, I'm going to try and stay just like this. Like I want a steady, just down hair. But when we have dinner, it's not possible. And I just don't want to admit to her that I'm not willing to cut the underside of my hair just yet. So I think we're gonna go like this, and then she's gonna ask about it, and I'll have to show her, but I'll make her laugh. So I think we'll be okay. What do you guys think? Ben Bacon Bits, I do not, but I bet you I could figure it out given an hour, or yeah, probably an hour. I used to have Audacity. I should pick that thing back up. It is growing very fast, Tara. And I wash it a whole lot more than I was. Like I used to wash it once a week to try and let the natural oils like help it grow. I've been washing it like every other day, like a real American. And it's still growing like crazy. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. But I don't know if you guys can tell, sometimes now it doesn't want to act like that. It just wants to act right now, which is cool. I wish it acted right all the time. Sometimes the underside stuff will poke out like right here through the luscious locks, and then I just look like super dumb. It's pretty great. Yeah, my grandma's the best. I love her. You know, it's really like fine, but there's a lot of it. There is a lot of it. You definitely have all the audacity, Davey. I've been meaning to reach out to you. I'm sorry I've been away. I've been thinking about you a lot, and I miss you. And I'm glad you're here. Embrace the suck. I like that so much, Caddy. Vengeance isn't mine. I just let karma take care of it. And it will. Sweet Liberty. What's going on? Awakened by the looking glass reflection. Kristen Kruger. I have very little resentments left. That is wonderful news. The remaining ones are towards self. Very interesting. I've had much trauma and been working for 50 years on the self-forgiveness. Great topic. You know, my dad once told me, he said there are two kinds of apologies. There are those where we seek forgiveness, and those apologies that we tell to forgive ourselves. And I don't know if that helps you at all, but I felt called to say that just now. Like it might not be your fault at all, but it might be necessary to like say those words so that you can forgive yourself. Does that make sense? And this might not apply to you at all, but something inside me told me to say that. Yeah, I thought I had seen that somewhere, Christy. That would make sense. Hey, as long as your karma doesn't run over my dogma, you know, we'll be fine. Right where it's supposed to be. I love it when everything's in its proper place. I was doing research on like the Navajo Nation today. And then I started thinking like, wait, who are my people? I should probably look into my people's folklore. So I started looking into Slavic folklore, and I fell asleep listening to it. So I didn't learn anything about Slavic culture and history. But, well, that's not true. I learned a very little bit, and then I fell asleep. But I look forward to exploring more. What am I talking about? Slavic culture and history. I look forward to like going to Eastern Europe and walking the land and like breathing the air. I feel like I'll know immediately if I'm from there or not. And I feel like enough generations of my family have been in the United States. Like, are we still from there? Like, obviously our heritage is, but it's so interesting going down that rabbit hole. Anne Casillas, thank you so much for your support. When I can't forgive or let go, I like to use the Hawaiian practice of Ho'oponopono. One of my friends, Autumn, told me about this, and I can't pronounce it properly, but she's a proper Hawaiian and teaches me wonderful things about her culture all the time. It is simply to repeat while thinking of the person or even me, and repeat. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Autumn totally taught me this. Shout out to Autumn. I love you. I miss you. Hopefully I'll get to see her in a couple weeks. I wonder, I should reach out and see if she's going. I bet you she is. That'd be cool. I love her. She's the best. Wow, Anne. How profound. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for your support. What a sweet memory that brought. What a sweet memory that brought me. Suzanne, you made it live. What is going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, and Mary Jones, Bless to Crochet. I have some good news. Oh, wow, the hiccups are for real. I do not leave on the 18th. I leave on the 19th. So on your birthday, I am at your service, and there will be no complications. I figured that was good news. Jamie Palmer says, I think apologizing to yourself is healthy. It feels right to me to forgive yourself for things, red flags you may have missed in life. And man, I beat myself up so much for missing the red flags. I hold myself to such a high standard. It's so unfair. I really should be nicer to myself, and I am doing much better at that. But I have to say, historically, like realizing that I missed like a bundle of red flags bothers me so much. It's like, how could I miss that? But I think apologizing to yourself is healthy. I agree. Casey, thank you so much for asking, and thank you for understanding and being patient. I have not, but it's right there. I'm looking at it. I've almost done it. I'm going to do it. In fact, I just take it to the mail. I put it in the mail, right, and send it off after I do the thing. So I'll probably just send it off tomorrow. Thank you so much for reminding me. And again, I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for sending it. I can't wait to find out. I knew when I brought up the Slavic thing that you were going to say something, and I was looking forward to it so that we could have that dialogue right there. Crazy girl, look at you. Look at y'all in green. Tara smiling. Davy, Suzanne, Becca Jean, dose of rose, looking really, really good in green. What's going on? Look at all these lurkers. Ah! Deborah Nuttall, Penny B123, Sandy Fletcher. Love you guys. Good to see you. Looking great in green. Yeah. Thanks, Brazy. What a gal. You know what, Casey? If it's not gross, we can do it right now. You guys are gonna have to pardon my crazy hair because I can't possibly do this without blowing a gasket if I don't put my hair up. So I'm going to have to figure out what I did with my hair ties. I took them off the trophy because I was going to use it. Yes, that's how I put the hair up. Boop, 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 boop. Doesn't that look silly as all heck, guys? Okay. Let's look at these instructions. Let's figure it out. If I do it right now, I won't forget. And those of you that don't know, what I'm doing here is ancestry, DNA. Whistling makes my gums hurt. I did a lot of whistling and singing today. It was a mistake. So I activate it with the internet. I spit in the tube, release and shake. I feel like spitting is moderately gross. Maybe I'll just do this after I turn it off. But let's look at it together. This is the collecting bag. That's where we put the collected specimens. Spit tubes. Tubes to spit in and shake and send. And that's about it. Wow, okay. And instructions. Sweet. I expected this to be so much more complicated. I literally am going to spit in that tube, hit some buttons on my phone, and then take this to the mailbox. I'm not going to open it yet. I feel like it's sealed for a reason, right? Don't want to give them a contaminated sample. Do not eat, drink, smoke, or chew gum for 30 minutes before giving your sample. That makes sense. One time, I was hammered. I must have been 15, 16, and I was hanging out in my buddy's treehouse. Oh, I look so ridiculous. Shout out to Robert. It's funny, back in those days, there were two Roberts in the crew. So we had Black Robert and White Robert, and they both answered to that. That's what they were known as, Black Robert and White Robert. Shout out to the Roberts. Anyways, I was in Robert's treehouse, and we were getting drunk on some gin, I think it was. The first time I had ever had gin. And I was so wasted, my mother called me to come home for dinner. And I was very far away from the house. I was going to have to walk back shit-faced, which ended up being a good thing because I had some walking off to do. You know, I definitely didn't want to walk in looking like that. And when I got there, I was chewing, I think like Big Five gum. I was chewing some kind of silly gum, chewing some kind of minty gum the whole way. And it must have been like a 30, 45-minute walk. It was a hella walk. And I got there, my mom answered the door and just gave me that crazy cold stare. And I tried to just play it off. That's how I used to do things. And nothing was the matter, even though I could smell it coming out of my skin. It smelled like fruity rubbing alcohol. I could smell it. There's no way she couldn't smell it, right? And she took me into the bathroom and gave me a mouth swab test, or maybe into her bedroom. I don't know. Anyway, she took me in the house and gave me a mouth swab test, and the results came back negative. And I was satisfied? I can't remember what reminded me of that. Oh, the spit thing. I think that having that gum in my mouth immediately prior to the swab test had a large effect on how it went, because I was obviously wasted. But that was my random story for the day. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications. Usually Wednesday, I think I want to make Storytime Day, but it was my first legit day back, so I wanted to make it a banger. Stay tuned for the Admiral this evening at 7:30 p.m., somewhere around that time, Pacific. I'm going to go have some dinner so I can get to book study on time. I tell you what. Thank you guys so much. You guys make this thing work. You guys make this thing what it is. And I don't know what I'd do without you. I promise I will be waiting. I have been drinking tea, so I will do it probably during book study because I won't be eating while I do that. Thank you for saying that, Sandy Wandy. There are so many creators, it's hard to vet them sometimes. I will look into Craigenford. A much cooler Macaulay Culkin. I mean, Macaulay Culkin was pretty cool in that movie, that one movie. Jason P., much love, brother. So let's put some ones up for all that need it. I'll see you guys soon, all right? Be good to each other.